You know, sometimes the biggest stories come in the smallest packages, not in some huge epic, but in just a few mysterious lines. Today, we're going to lean in close and listen to a whisper from the past, this beautiful, kind of cryptic verse that we're going to unravel together piece by piece. So let's get into it.
Here it is. Just let that sink in for a second. Silvered faller over mark, Natten's bloomer, loosish stark. I mean, even if you don't know the words, you can feel it, right? There's a rhythm, a real atmosphere here. It feels ancient, it feels important.
So that's the big question for us today. What's the story hiding inside these phrases? Think of us as detectives. We're going to decode this thing line by line to reveal the world, the characters, and the big ideas it's holding on to.
Okay, so first things first. Every story needs a setting. Before we can figure out what's going on, we have to know where it's all happening. So our first step is to use the verse's own words to paint a picture of the scene.
So we're going right back to that opening line. These words are more than just mood setting. They're actually the raw materials we're going to use to build this world. Let's break down the two main images hiding in here. So when you translate it, you get this incredible imagery. Silver is falling on the ground. Now, what could that be? Moonlight, maybe? Or even frost creating this shimmering landscape. And then you get night's flowers are shining brightly. So this isn't some empty, scary darkness. It's a world that's alive, lit from within. It's a scene of quiet, stark, and almost magical beauty.
But this scene is more than just a pretty landscape. The verse adds this whole other layer with the phrase Sidensvav in Natten's tide, which introduces something, well, something mystical.
Just based on the context of the poem, Sager's weave feels like some kind of powerful force at play. This tells us it's not just a quiet night. It's a time when magic, or maybe even destiny itself, is being actively, woven. That beautiful, stark scene we just imagined, it's the backdrop for something really profound.
All right, so we've got our stage. A moonlit, magical night where destiny is in motion. But every stage needs an actor, right? So now let's see who steps out into this world.
And there she is. The verse just comes right out and names her, Freyja kaller Challer hem to folkvanger. This single line gives us a name, an action, and a destination. It's really the narrative heart of the whole piece.
Before we dig into the action, let's just look at that destination. The verse says Frey is calling souls home to Folkvanger. So right away, Folkvanger is set up as this final destination, a place of arrival, a home.
And it really is that simple and that powerful. Freyja is performing this sacred duty, calling souls, or Kaljar, to their home in Folkvang. This gives the whole verse a real sense of purpose, of movement, like we're witnessing the end of a long journey, all happening under that silver-lit sky.
So we have the setting, and we have the plot. But what are the values of this world? What does it believe in? The next few lines of the verse start to reveal its core philosophy, the ideas that really give this story its weight.
The verse makes a really direct, unambiguous statement right here. It's not subtle. It's basically a declaration of a core principle, a law of this world.
The meaning is crystal clear. Strength is never scorned. In the realm where Freyja calls souls, strength is a fundamental virtue. It's not just admired, it's essential. And that tells us a whole lot about the kind of souls being called home, doesn't it?
Okay, now we get to what might be the most complex idea in the whole verse. Makt I kärleksstrid. It's just two words, but they seem like total opposites, love and strife, and they're brought together here to define the very nature of power.
What's so fascinating here is how the verse just refuses to separate these two things. On one hand, you have the power of love. That's an emotional force, all about connection. On the other, you have the power of strife, or battle, a physical force rooted in conflict. The verse seems to be arguing that true power, Makt, isn't one or the other. It's forged right where they meet, in the heart of love's strife. That's a really deep and complicated worldview.
Okay, we've broken it all down. We have the setting, the character, the action, and the philosophy. So now, let's put it all back together and see the full story this whisper is trying to tell us. So let's tell the story one last time. It all begins on a stark, beautiful night where silver falls on the ground and these strange glowing flowers shine in the darkness.
But we know this is no ordinary night. It's a time of power, a moment when destiny itself, that magical weave, is active and in motion.
And into this exact moment steps the goddess Freyja, performing her sacred duty as she calls souls home to their final rest in Folkvang.
And these aren't just any souls. They come from a world where strength is a foundational, absolutely unshakable virtue.
And they understand the great truth of this realm, that real power isn't simple. It's a complex, challenging force, one that's forged only in that crucible where love and conflict meet.
But after painting this whole complete picture, the verse leaves us with this final, fragmented line. It feels different from the rest, more personal, more emotional. It hints at the heart, at falling, freedom, and wounds. It isn't a clear statement like the others, it's more like an echo of a feeling.
And really, that's what we're left with. We can decode the story, the characters, the ideas. But the verse also leaves behind this atmosphere, this feeling. After the story's told, after the souls are called home, what's left is the emotional echo of it all. It really makes you wonder, what emotions does a whisper from another realm truly leave behind?